Hey there, Chris here from chrisamericos.com, where we help you level up and show the world the best version of yourself. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you about the only 2 mistakes that there are in English. There's only 2 of them, so I hope you're ready. So many people who are learning English worry about their mistakes. They're always thinking, am I making a mistake? Am I speaking correctly? Is someone going to judge me for how I'm pronouncing words, or for the words that I'm choosing, or for the grammar that I'm using? Everyone is thinking about this, and it stops them from being able to speak fluently. Really, all you need to do is correct 2 mistakes and you'll be fluent in English. Now, if you stay till the end of this video, I'll give you some advice about how you can correct these 2 mistakes. But first, I need to tell you about our sponsor of this video, Power Device. They make great lavalier microphones like the one I'm using right here, and it makes the audio quality a lot better indoors and outdoors. The first mistake that so many people make when they're trying to become fluent in English is just not speaking. You see, when you don't speak, when you have the opportunity to speak and you choose not to speak, that really holds you back, because you've spent all this time learning how to say words, which words to say, which order to say the words in, right? You've learned grammar, pronunciation, vocabulary, and for you to not use the opportunities that you have to practice speaking the language, it's just gonna reduce the amount of progress that you make. A lot of people think about the hours that they need to study, or the days or months that they need to study. And some people think about the number of lessons that they need to have with a teacher or in a group in order to become fluent. But it's not really about that. You know, people are so obsessed with what their level of English is, and they are obsessed with becoming fluent or obsessed with speaking correctly. But you can't do those things without just speaking. You have to actually open your mouth, make the sounds of the words, and use the language with real people. The first mistake that so many people make is just not speaking. And I know that that sounds really simple. If you're watching this video right now, you're probably thinking, well, Chris, everybody knows that you have to speak in order to become fluent, but you would be surprised how many people think that just watching videos or just writing something online is going to make them fluent. A lot of people also think that they can just sit in a classroom with a teacher and that they'll automatically become fluent if the teacher is good. Well, it doesn't only depend on the teacher. It also depends on you learning the language and then using the language. And there's something called a language barrier that stops a lot of people from speaking. So let's talk about that. What really is a mistake, and why do those mistakes hold you back and create a barrier? People think that a mistake is when you say things that don't follow the rules of the language. I don't think that that's right. I disagree with that. I think that a mistake is when people don't understand you. And of course, people will not understand you if you don't speak. So that's really the main mistake. But if we look deeper inside of that big mistake of not speaking, you might say something that a person doesn't understand at all, or just misunderstands, right? They might understand you the wrong way, or think that you're trying to say something that you're not trying to say. When somebody criticizes what you say, or somebody doesn't understand what you say, you have a choice. You can stop or you can continue. And it's a mistake to stop and not speak anymore. The correct thing to do when someone criticizes you or tells you that you've made a mistake when you're speaking is to learn from it, to learn from the mistakes that you've made and to continue going. You know, you have to use that situation to your advantage, and you need to get a benefit out of that situation. How can you benefit from making mistakes? Well, everybody makes mistakes. That's the thing, right? Everybody makes them. You're not unique when you make a mistake. You know, a lot of people think that they're very unique when they make a mistake. They think everybody else is right and I'm wrong. That's not true. Everybody's wrong, and sometimes some people are right. You need to remember that speaking is not about being right and wrong. It's about communicating some idea or message. If someone is telling you that you're wrong, well, it's just that they are following some rules that they have in their head very strictly, because people follow different rules in different places. Now, I'll tell you more about how you can correct that first big mistake of not speaking later in this video. But now let's talk about the second biggest mistake, which is giving up. A lot of times when something is difficult or hard or challenging, people stop doing it. That's not the right thing that you should do. That's a mistake. So remember this phrase: anything that is worth doing poorly until you learn to do it well. That means do something with low quality or do something not very well until you learn how to do it better. That's how you overcome problems. That's how you learn to do things that are challenging or difficult. You see, there's something called compounding knowledge or compounding skills. And that's what happens when you practice English. When you start speaking the first time, you're not very good at it. Nobody is. As you continue, you get better and better. You can't get better without having those first experiences of making mistakes and not sounding very good, because you have to build on top of those experiences. It's like building a house. You have to build the foundation before you can build the rest of the house. And those first mistakes that you make, those first difficult times when you're trying to learn the language, that's the foundation. So here's how it works. The first mistakes that you make, you learn from them, and then you remember them for a long time because they were part of your experience. You say, I don't want to make that mistake again. And in your mind, you always have some idea of that mistake, of what you've learned, and you can build something on top of that mistake later. So in the beginning, the mistakes might be in a sentence where there's only 3 words. Maybe you forgot the verb to be in the sentence, or maybe you used the verb to have when you needed to use a different verb. But after you make that mistake a few times and you're in a situation where you tried to speak, you made that mistake and you understood, hey, that wasn't right, I needed to say something different, or I needed to use a different verb. Well, after that, you start using bigger sentences, longer phrases. You start just saying them automatically because you've practiced them so many times. And that's how knowledge compounds on itself. You learned something that's very basic first, and then you put intermediate skills on top of that, and then you put advanced skills on top of that, and before you know it, you're speaking like an expert, like me. So there truly are only 2 mistakes in English: not speaking and giving up. And there's only one person who can make a mistake and only one person who can correct that mistake. That person is you. So the way that you get better at English and you become fluent in English is by accepting that everyone makes mistakes, knowing when you've made a mistake or when you've said something that wasn't clear or that was misunderstood, not going crazy, not giving up, not just closing your mouth and stopping everything that you're doing, but instead embracing that mistake and learning from it. That is how you overcome these 2 mistakes. Remember that anything you do the first time or anything that you're not an expert at doing feels a little uncomfortable. And it takes a long time to become an expert at something. Some people say it takes 10 years to become an expert at something. And that's only if you do it full time, if you do it all the time, 8 hours a day. So the best thing that you can do right now to improve your English is to love your mistakes, to become so comfortable with your mistakes that you always are able to learn from them. They're supposed to make you feel uncomfortable. Be comfortable being uncomfortable. And when someone criticizes you for your mistakes or tries to make you feel bad for your mistakes, you need to own your mistakes. What does that mean? That means you tell them, yes, I made that mistake. You know what? I made that mistake, not you. That's my mistake. You can't have it. That's my mistake. I own that mistake. Don't let someone else tell you what that mistake means to you. You can decide what that mistake means to you. You get to determine what the meaning of your mistakes is and how you're going to use your mistakes so that you can grow and you can benefit from them. Don't let someone try to use your mistakes to hurt you. You need to take control of your mistakes and use them to help you. You need to become the master of your mistakes. You know, a lot of people are controlled by fear and controlled by the mistakes that they make, and a lot of people are even controlled by mistakes that they don't make. They think they might make a mistake in the future, and they let that control them and stop them from doing what they want to do. But if you become a master of your mistakes, then your mistakes won't hold you back and you're not afraid of them. You say, yeah, I made a mistake. Everybody makes a mistake and I'm gonna make another mistake. And that's okay because I love my mistakes. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helps you be more confident when you're speaking English and reminds you not to give up, not to stop speaking. There really are only two mistakes that you can make in English: not speaking and giving up. So don't make those two, but make all the other ones. Now let's practice speaking. Go over to my channel, click on live, and in the live category, you'll find the past live speaking practice lessons that we've had. You can watch those and get an idea of what it's like, and then join us. Join us live and practice speaking with me and other people from around the world. It's a lot of fun, and it's a great chance for you to practice speaking English. And all you need to do to join is subscribe to this channel. So click that subscribe button, click the bell so you get notified when new videos come out and so you get notified when we go live on this channel, and leave a comment down below to let me know what you thought about this video. Okay? I can't wait to talk to you very soon, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.